Catching up on sleep by going to bed early, sleeping in or taking naps during the day is a common strategy to deal with short-term insomnia. However, over a long period, spending too much time in bed can actually perpetuate insomnia. For example, if your body only needs 6 to 7 hours of sleep, and yet you're spending 10 to 11 hours in bed, then 4 to 5 hours of that time will be spent awake and most likely restless and frustrated. Reducing your time in bed to closely match your current sleep pattern is one of the most effective ways to reduce the restlessness and stressful wakefulness in bed. Having a shorter time in bed with a higher proportion of that time asleep is called greater sleep efficiency. This also results in your sleep being less fragmented overnight, so you're less likely to be awake for long periods overnight. Once a high sleep efficiency is established over a week, then the time in bed can be increased by half an hour each week until the optimal time is established, maintaining a high sleep efficiency and a consolidated sleep. Another way to understand how this works is to look at the increased time that you add to your day by spending less time in bed. Not only does this give you more time to practice mindfulness, but it also means that the more time that you're awake in the day, the more you'll be increasing your sleep drive. This of course means that at bedtime you'll be more sleepy and more likely to sleep throughout the night. This strategy is called sleep consolidation because it helps your sleep to become more solid and continuous and less fragmented. So now let's work out a sleep schedule that's right for you, depending on your current sleep patterns. And over the next 3 weeks, we'll adjust this to meet your optimal sleep needs. So the first step is to establish the wake-up time. The first step to working out a sleep pattern that is best for you is to set up a regular wake-up time, which means getting up the same time every day, no matter how many hours you slept the night before. This should be a time that fits in with your daytime activities, and it needs to be consistent. So if some days in the week you need to get up at 6 a.m. and other days you don't, it's recommended that you do get up at 6 a.m. every day, allowing yourself an extra hour in bed on the weekends if you'd like it. A regular wake-up time can be one of the most important steps to establishing a healthy sleep pattern and better quality sleep. And 2, work out how many hours you're currently sleeping on average. To do this, use the sleep diary you filled out the past 2 weeks. Add up the total time that you slept each night, not counting the time that you woke up in the night. And then add all of these totals together and divide them by the number of days you recorded. So assuming that you filled in the diary for the full 14 days, then add the total number of hours of sleep that you got for each night. So add these totals together and divide by 14. Step 3 is to work out the time allowed in bed, which is your average hours of sleep plus 30 minutes. And this is the sleep window. So please work out now your total time allowed in bed. Please note that it's recommended that you spend a minimum of 5.5 hours in bed. So if your allowable time in bed was less than this, then make 5.5 hours your time allowed in bed. Step 4, work out your estimated bedtime. So start from your wake-up time that you agreed in step 1, then work backwards, counting the hours of your allowed time in bed until you come to your optimal bedtime. For example, if your time allowed in bed is 6 hours and your wake-up time is 6 a.m, then your bedtime should be 12 midnight. So please now work out your estimated going to bed time. When you've followed this schedule for the week, you can adjust it depending on how it's going. You'll need to continue filling in your sleep diary so that you can continue to track how many hours of sleep that you're getting each night. And this information will be used to help you work out your sleep efficiency. Your sleep efficiency is the proportion or percentage of time that you spend in bed that you're asleep. A good sleep efficiency is about 80 to 85% or higher. At the end of the first week of your new sleep schedule, use your sleep diary to work out your sleep efficiency. And this is done by adding up the total number of hours that you slept across the whole week and dividing it by the total number of hours that you were in bed. And then you multiply this by 100 to get a percentage. So in this example, the total number of hours of sleep was 34 and the total allowable time in bed was 42. Which means that sleep efficiency was 34 divided by 42, which equals 0.81. And then we times this by 100 to get 81% sleep efficiency. If you're asleep for more than 85% of the time in bed, so your sleep efficiency is more than 85%, then you can increase your time in bed by 30 minutes. If your sleep efficiency is less than 80%, then decrease your time in bed by 30 minutes, so long as you're not less than 5.5 hours in bed. And then finally, if your sleep efficiency is between 80 and 85%, then just maintain the same sleep schedule for another week. These instructions are outlined clearly in the handout following this video. An important note before making these changes. Starting the sleep consolidation program is very challenging, so please seek support from a partner or friend or GP. Initially, you will feel more tired and sleepy during the day, so I recommend that you arrange to have some extra help around the house. And at work, I suggest that you talk to your employer about this program and explain that you're likely to be very tired for a few weeks. If possible, arrange to have a lighter workload or some extra time for breaks for a few weeks. For the program to be effective, you'll need to be consistent with the sleep scheduling. So please treat yourself with some extra patience and kindness during this time, as the extra fatigue might leave you feeling irritable or prone to making mistakes. Getting up in the morning when you've had a terrible night's sleep is very, very difficult and will probably be one of the most challenging aspects of this sleep consolidation strategy. Anything that will help you stay focused on the reason for getting up will help you in these groggy, sleepy moments. A post-it note by your bedside, an alarm or reminder in your phone left out of reach so that you have to get up to turn it off, a tasty breakfast to think about getting up to, can all help when you're feeling less than ordinary. The sleep strategies that I've outlined in this module will take some time to put into practice. You may find that you'll follow the instructions for a few days and then forget or find it too hard on other days. Just like learning any other new skill, no one expects you to get it right straight away. Each time things don't go as planned, you'll learn from the experience and discover how to overcome these barriers and start again the next night. It will be very important to stay motivated and focused. So now over to you to take the time to complete the worksheet provided to work out your sleep consolidation plan.